This actually right here is where we tried to make an arrest of a guy. Broke and ran, and I chased him across Wheeler Road, back through the townhouses, and followed him back through that cut right there. And you know, we had people throwing garbage in front of us and trying to impede our progress. About that time, my partner showed up and his bottom lip was hanging down. I asked him what happened. He said he was hit in the face with a 2x4.
FBI Special Agent Dan Sparks has spent the last 15 years with the Safe Streets Task Force cleaning up some of DC's toughest areas in the Northeast and Southeast, paving the way for those neighborhoods to revitalize. Today I joined Agent Sparks as he made his rounds. A 19-year veteran of the Bureau, he and his partners have broken some of DC's most notorious street gangs.
To show you definitively what it means for an area over in southeast DC, it was called the 1-5 Mob. It was a violent organization. Their leader, Tom Edlin, was the first individual in District of Columbia who was charged with a death penalty offense. But that whole area was completely depraved. They had one small little shopping center. There were police officers getting shot at, brazen murders. I remember one murder in particular where they shot the guy, the ambulance came, and they made sure they killed him. They moved the hospital or the ambulance workers out of the way and killed him, shot him when he's in the gurney.
Between 1998 and 2002, the Safe Streets Task Force, composed of FBI Metro DC police detectives, investigated the most violent gangs in DC history. Agent Sparks took me to the neighborhoods that were ravaged by their brutal tactics. Throughout our trip, he was in constant communication with his contacts and informants.
Hello? Hey, did you get over there? Oh, you gonna do it later on? All right. Yeah, make sure, give me a call as soon as you do it. All right. Thanks. The biggest thing is finding the right targets and identifying who the people are that are responsible for the murders.
The Safe Streets Task Force, the first in the nation, uses federal racketeering statutes to address gang violence. Agent Sparks says life in prison without parole, which comes from the racketeering charge, is a good deterrent, and the key to his cases is developing informants.
Why I've stayed on the street so much, because it may sound kind of odd, but my allegiance is to those informants or cooperating witnesses that, they're putting their lives on the line to make cases for me, and I feel an obligation to those folks.
Agent Sparks has different ways to develop informants, but typically they are convicted felons with insider access to a bigger fish, so that Agent Sparks is able to leverage the law to get them to cooperate and help solve murders. They know your car?
Yeah, they definitely know the car. The key is having tinted windows, and that's, they may know it's me, but they don't know who's in the back seat. No, I might have an informant in the back seat, point out addresses or.
And it has been his informants that have led to building successful cases against DC's most notorious and violent gangs like the 1-5 Mob. Agent Sparks and the Safe Streets Task Force developed snitches that tip them off to carjackings, armed robberies, and murder suspects.
Hey, what'd you find out? What'd you find out? Hurry up. Actually, this is 8th Street. Back in the 90s, Kevin Gray and Rodney Moore controlled this area, controlled the heroin sales. You can see how close you are to Union Station.
As leader of one of the most ruthless gangs to operate in D.C., Kevin Gray was convicted of taking part in 19 of 31 slayings. Now the 8th Street corridor is one of the most up-and-coming areas in D.C.
Yeah, probably 98, 99, executed a couple search warrants on this street. Got guns and drugs, and a couple of those guys were ultimately charged in the Kevin Gray investigation, received life without the possibility of parole sentences, and now look at it.
There's people walking their babies in strollers.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's nice. It's a place to live.
And with the same results of building a racketeering case against Tom Edlin, the leader of the 1-5 Mob in Southeast, who was connected to 46 murder victims, the Safe Street Task Force was able to put him away for life without parole. And the Anacostia neighborhood where he operated is feeling the relief.
It'd be nice to live here. I don't think that the federal government, I don't think Giant, Wachovia, Subway, all these other places would make the kind of capital investments that you see if people were getting shot and killed every day. I would say that we had a huge role in the revitalization here.